Cameron McEvoy, Cameron Mcevoy. Feels great. I'm coming off the back of a week in the south of France and then moving here. You can't get... yeah, I know. It doesn't sound like a training camp, but it was, I promise you. Things are moving really well. Myself, I'm hitting some PBs in the water, swimming as fast as I ever have in training, which is giving me a massive confidence boost at this point in the late in the season and in the prep. Team environment's really awesome. This is my favorite part of the year as well. I get to see everyone else taper down and start doing some absolutely incredible stuff in the water, and sitting back and watching that happen gives me a lot of confidence and boost as well in terms of what the team's going to do, and yeah, it's just a very exciting time.
Cam, last time we spoke to the US trials hadn't taken place. Just wondering, what difference does it make having Caleb qualify for the team? Because it looked at one stage that he may not get an individual swim.
Having Caleb there is awesome. I've worked out I should be next to him in the heat over there in the 50 free. He's obviously legendary in the sprint world. Incredible run on the board with his past Olympics, and for example, being a big fan of the 50 free myself and dissecting it as much as I can, you can't get someone who has a better dive than he does. So I'm just excited to have him there. Excited to brush up not only against him, but have the best field that the world has to offer as well in the 50 free. So yeah, it's shaping up to be a pretty exciting event.
Do you think he's your biggest threat in that 50, or do you think he'll crowd? Or what are your view of your competitors for this one?
There's definitely a handful of competitors who are going to be up there. I couldn't stand here and say there's one that stands head and shoulders above the other, but each of them have, I guess, their own strengths. And with Dressel being out of the water for a little bit, coming back and still making progress every time he swims, I am definitely not going to go into this underestimating him. I know that he's had the quickest 50 on the board in the last 4 years. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye on him. But also, like I said, there's a field of potential people that could all be up there. It's looking like probably the 50 freestyle has the most depth that it's had, at least from my memory of the sport and of the event. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting.
Do you get more confidence from what happened in Fukuoka, or you said before, I'm not sure if you can elaborate the PBs you're sort of doing in training, but do you get it from what you did then or what you're doing in the lead-up?
For me, the confidence is both. It's the runs on the board. Like I said, at the trials, I've done 10 50 freestyles now in the last 12 months, all under 21.5. So 21.5 historically has gotten a medal at every Olympics. So from a confidence point of view, in that respect, that gives me a lot. But then, yeah, in training, the way we've been doing a unique approach to this, and I've been doing this now for about 18 months, and the times are slowly coming down, even relative to leading into Fukuoka. So again, confidence is sky high in that sense, and really it's just going to come down to execution on the day.
Can you try and compare it? You've been here before, 10 days out before an Olympics. How are you feeling now as to the previous times, 10 days out?
Yeah. So we're 10 days out now for my 4th Olympics, and I feel very, very relaxed. When I think back to the past 3, all of them were very, very different contexts. And just with where I'm at now, I guess the context of the approach I've taken, the success I've had in recent times, and I guess just the overall state of the team as well. It's a very relaxed environment, considering it's the staging camp before we only enter the village next Tuesday. So it's coming along very fast, but relaxation is there, which is really good. As we get closer, obviously, yeah, it's the key for now. But we do want the nerves to kind of escalate, and I guess the anticipation to escalate, because you can ride that and carry that along through your race. So yeah, but where we're at now is really good.
Are there any nerves there because you've got the target on the back, you're trying to swim from it, and then obviously prepare for best ever? Do you feel that extra pressure?
I don't think so. I think, well, I'm in a pretty privileged spot in the sense where I don't race until day 6. It was the same in Fukuoka, and so I think the first night in Fukuoka, we got 4 of the 5 gold medals, which was an insane start to the competition. And a lot of those people that race up first, I guess, have a little bit more pressure on their backs in terms of, I guess, setting the tone for the start of the competition. But I've been in this spot many times before. I've seen many people go through that phase. And out of, I guess, the last 13 years I've been on the team, I haven't seen a better bunch of swimmers who are both, I guess, mentally fortified for this approach, but also, I guess, physically prepared. Like the type of stuff I see these guys do in training, not only in this preparation, but over the last, say, year and a half, is pretty incredible. It's quite a historic. The runs on the board match what they do and what I see. So yeah, I've got no doubt that everyone's going to be flying pretty well when the time comes.
Being relaxed, apart from being relaxed in the pool,
yep.
What does that look like outside of the pool? You get to go to town here, get into the countryside, go for walks, what does it look like?
A few walks actually, because there's a lot of walking in the village. So you got to get your steps up in prep for that. You can't be laying down for 24 hours a day, and then when you get in the village, walking 10K a day. A little bit of a shock. But I mean, for me personally, it's just, enjoying the time on pool deck. I'll get in, do my session, get out, and just like be in no rush to get home, do the recovery, just sit back and watch the people do their thing. We'll go into the team environment, which is just a really nice, relaxed room. There's pool, there's darts and stuff. We just kick back and have a chat. There's a nice flow to the day-to-day movements around here. There's no rush for anything, and yeah, I guess the relaxation just comes off the back of that.
And if you had to take the lead on that, because you've been here a few times before, and half the team have never been in an Olympic environment before, so are you trying to encourage that?
Well, my perspective is at this point in the prep and being so close to the comp, I want as little, I guess, interference into how people prefer to live at this point in time going into their prep, and I want them to be as close to how they would if they were at home in their normal environment. So yeah, I'm very much on a kick back and kind of be the observer and the spectator and let them do their thing.
And if you've got to look the water flying over there.
I haven't. I've been eyeing it off though, but I haven't yet.
Ken, it must be nice to get some flexibility to come over a bit later. Can you just talk about why that happened and the benefits you got from staying back in Oz a little bit longer and sort of what your weeks are looking like now?
Yep. So the flexibility that Roe and the swim team gave me to stay back in Australia for a little bit longer, for me, that 2.5, 3 week period was the most important period of my entire prep. It's kind of the glue that puts the rest of the 11 months prior to that together. And the results that I was able to put on the board in training in that period suggest that it was the perfect move. Rocked up to Cannes a week before we came into staging camp here and joined the rest of the team there, which was a smooth transition. All my times are the same from landing here to back home, which is really good as well. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of that, to be able to stay back and kind of do my own unique approach and to have that performance first mentality, and to be able to carry that as I entered the team environment here. It was just very smooth, and I think it goes a long way. It's a particular approach that I think, like I said, is the most important part of my entire season. So to have that under my belt, it's done and dusted now. And really it's just molding into the team environment now and moving forward and just really getting the execution right, and that's it. It's the perfect recipe for where I stand right now going into my events.
Cam, every 4 years the old Australia-US rivalry story comes up again. Just to explain to me, who won last year? Was it Australia? What's your take? Is it total or number of golds?
My take was I'll back Australia any day, regardless of what the medal tally says. But no, I'm a big fan of the rivalry. It goes back a very long way. Goes back, well, my earliest memories are back to Fukuoka 2001, where we won that medal tally as well. When I was 6 years old, watching Thorpe, Hackett, and the rest of the team do their thing. And it's just a privilege to be in this position to, I guess, continue that rivalry as we go on into the sport. And there will be a time one day where I'll have to pass that position on to the next generation that comes through. And whenever that is, I'll gladly back them and happily watch from the sidelines.
Cam, what do you need to do to win gold?
For me to win gold would be, the 50 freestyle is so much more about execution on the day than it is really in terms of grit or the amount of effort you put in. Many times you can put in too much effort and kind of slow yourself down. So it's really just staying relaxed, trusting what I've done day in, day out, and nailing the execution. The 50 freestyle could be won within, you could go from first to fourth by 0.3 of a second, which is insanity to think about. And like, you just get 1 degree off in your dive on your entry, and that could just cascade throughout the whole race. So it's really just staying relaxed, knowing what I've done in training day to day is just physically and mentally ingrained into my body, and just trusting the execution on the day.
How did you usually approach your British speed cycling in your day-to-day coaching?
So I took their approach to taper into my training, and that was the taper that Row and the swim team allowed me to stay behind in Australia for a little bit longer to complete. I had tested it out for the first time in Fukuoka and was able to drop about 0.3, 0.25 from the trials into the World Championship final, which is a massive leap forward for a 50 freestyle. And this is the second time I'm able to do it, and we've got the run on the board with it. I'm extremely confident. And it's not only been tested in swimming, but the UK speed cyclists seem to go pretty well with it too. So, yeah.
Has there been a pinch yourself moment, Cam? Like, everyone knows your story, and over the last few years it's been, I think, sort of incredible. Has there been a moment where you've soaked it in and thought, I'm here again, and doing a 50 a bit heavier maybe than you were in Tokyo? But
It's definitely a pinch myself moment, but it's also, it's an opportunity, I guess, for me to, rewrite my relationship with the Olympics. I've had 3 Olympics so far, 3 very unique experiences, and a lot of them have been sort of like a roller coaster. And so the privileged position I'm in now, where I didn't think I would be in a position to be on the team again at another Olympics, let alone being in the position to potentially get my hand on the wall first or to get a medal. Yeah, it's something that I can't take for granted, but also something where I definitely need to take a step back and just appreciate the opportunity to relate to the Olympic experience on a new level, in a different context, and to walk away really proud of, I guess, everything I've done.
Among your competitors, there's a Frenchman, Florent Manodou.
Yes.
It's also his first Olympics. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with him?
So Florent Manodou was actually in Australia, and we did a few sessions together in January, which was awesome. I would say, so he's won gold, silver, silver at the last 3 Olympics in the 50 freestyle. He is up there as one of, if not the best 50 freestyler at an Olympic Games in the history of the Olympics. So it's going to be a privilege to stand up on the blocks next to him and race him at these games. I wish him all the best, and I know he's a huge icon in French sport and French swimming. And so, yeah, I'm just excited to race him and see how we go.